We've got a great show lined up for you today on Retiring Well, talking about the value of having a financial advisor. Are you currently invested in an active or a passive type of investment model? Are you getting in and out of the market depending on how you feel about things? Do you know what the tax implications are of different things that you're doing? There's all of this and so much more coming up right here, right now on Retiring Well.
Retiring Well, brought to you by Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial advisors specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan. Retiring Well, helping you plan for a successful and comfortable retirement. Retiring Well, plan to retire well.
Let's talk a little bit about the value of having a financial advisor, and specifically in this segment, I want to share with you about active rebalancing and what that exactly means. So financial markets have their ups and downs, as we all know, and simply said, they can be volatile. And a lot of times people think that they need to utilize a combination of stocks and bonds. That seems to be most common. But what we find is that the fixed income market may not always be that counterbalance to the equity side of the portfolio, just like potentially you may have experienced in 2022. We had a time there where both the equity markets and the bond markets both fell at the same time. And as markets move, so will the mix of assets within your portfolio. So you originally, when you set up an investment, you picked some type of risk tolerance. And so along with that usually comes some blend of equities and bonds is most common. And so you originally started with that structure, but as time moves along, your blend of assets may change, as well as your desired risk exposure. So hypothetically, let's just say that you had 60% in equities and 40% in fixed income back in January of 2009, and you chose to never rebalance that portfolio. So we're going back January 2009, 60% in equities, 40% in fixed income. And by the end of 2022, if you would have just left that portfolio alone, all of a sudden you might be looking at closer to 82% in equities and 18% in fixed income. So obviously a much higher risk exposure going from 60% equity to 82% equity within your portfolio. So you might have started maybe even within the equity portion, maybe 15% of your portfolio was targeted at U.S. large cap growth. And over that time frame, that might have ballooned upwards to about 35%. So on one hand, that's been great from the perspective of, okay, there's been growth that's been occurring, and you've seen that occur within those different investments. But 2022, you would have experienced a pretty significant drop within your equity exposure, and maybe that was a higher risk exposure than you'd be comfortable with. So by rebalancing, you're effectively selling some of your higher performing types of investments and restructuring into the lower performing, and maybe allowing them some opportunity for growth. And so you can capture the gains and hopefully smooth out your returns by actively rebalancing the portfolio. And during your younger years, you may be comfortable with some of those crazy roller coaster rides that you find yourselves in the market. But as you age, maybe more of a scenic train ride is more your desire, and something that levels things out within your portfolio as well, where you're rebalancing, staying within what would be a comfortable risk tolerance for you. And that's where investing changes as time moves along, and your goals and different strategies that you use are going to change along with that. So you want to be paying attention to your portfolio and making those necessary adjustments. Active rebalancing, you always want to be looking at staying, again, within certain parameters that you feel comfortable with. And it may not necessarily include improving your returns. Sometimes obviously the higher risk exposure during certain positive times in the market can be to your benefit, but that's where, again, it's more important a lot of times when you get closer to retirement or in retirement to be able to sleep at night and feel comfortable and confident with what you do within your portfolio. Here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, we agree with the concept of actively rebalancing your portfolio in order to match up with your risk tolerance. That's so important to when you go into an investment initially, that you set a certain parameter of what you're comfortable with, and that you continue to revisit that and monitor that as time moves along. It's so important to be able to sleep at night, especially when it comes to your retirement years. So if you have questions about your portfolio and you're not sure if you're currently actively rebalancing within your portfolio, we encourage you to give us a call and let us help you plan to retire well.
If you like watching Retiring Well, make sure to go to youtube.com/retiringwell and click the subscribe button to never miss any of our TV shows and other informative videos.
Retirement, something you've likely dreamed about for many years. Maybe you're approaching it here very soon or just recently retired. This is just for you then. Here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, we've created a retirement roadmap. Retirement is filled with many choices. What are you going to do with the grandkids? What trips you're going to go on? But first, we need to map out what this plan looks like. Where is the income going to come from? What investments is going to match up to produce that income? How are taxes going to look, and is there something that can be done to improve the situation today and for years down the road? Estate planning. What happens when you're gone and you're not here? What would you like to see happen with your assets and your estate and all of your loved ones that are left behind? Healthcare. You know, all the different options that exist out there and how different levels of income may dictate how much you're paying for your healthcare. Putting all those things together in a roadmap is a vital thing to retirement success. And not only that, but the confidence that you can go into that knowing you have a plan in place that allows you to enact all these dreams that you've had over the years. Simply go to our website at cen-wealth.com, and there's an area to click on to sign up for this retirement roadmap. You'll get instant download and can watch it right away. And the beautiful thing is it asks just a couple questions and it hones in it and customizes it just for you and your particular situation. We hope that this video provides great value for you and again, gives you the confidence heading into your retirement so you can plan to retire well. So the value of a financial advisor, many different aspects that you can determine that value. You know, one of the things that oftentimes that maybe goes unnoticed but is a vital part of it is behavioral coaching. You know, when I think of coaching, one of the things I enjoy greatly at this point in my life is coaching my children in the various sports that they may play. I coach my son's football team, my daughter's basketball team, different baseball and softball teams. And it's just a lot of fun to help youth and stuff like that. Well, translating that coaching over to investments and working with soon-to-be retirees and retirees is similar, but yet different. So think of it. Why does somebody have a coach? Well, they have a coach because they're playing a sport or doing something that maybe they haven't done before. Or maybe they feel like they don't know everything about it, so they need somebody to help them through that, to get better at it. Well, part of coaching also is the emotional part of it, keeping people focused on tasks, keeping them mentally tough and prepared for what may become, and then helping plan and having we call it mental reps in the sporting world, but having that foresight of what's going on. So think of that with your investment situation. For a financial advisor, investing can be emotional, right? It's your life savings. It's many years ahead of your life, and you look at those dollars rising or falling depending upon the markets, maybe spending or saving, and that emotion can really kick in. So us as advisors have to help harness that emotion and keep us working towards that goal. One of the most important things with financial planning is to have a plan. When we talk about behavioral coaching, it's easier to keep somebody focused and on task when you have something to focus on, right? When we lay out this plan in advance, we're going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages so that way there isn't any big surprises along the way. One of the worst things in life, in many cases, is being surprised and not having an idea that something can happen. So when you have this plan put together and you're looking ahead well in advance, you have some of these ideas out there. Obviously, things are going to come out of the blue. We're going to wake up some days and things aren't going to go as planned. But going back to that plan and having that behavioral coaching to keep us on track is going to be vital. Well, what if some of those things come up that we hadn't planned on, or that you really can't plan on? A loved one passes away. You get ill, something like that. There's behavioral coaching that has to come alongside you with that, right? Helping take these tough emotional decisions that can flip your life upside down and then bring them back inside of your financial plan, and how that's going to affect you today, but also long term. What adjustments have to be made and all that sort of stuff. Then when you think of investing itself and you look at the stock market, you turn on the television every day, or maybe some days, and you look and the market is up one day and you kind of got a smile on your face and you think that's positive for your portfolio. But what, of course, on the other side, when you look at the market and it's down for the day, makes you frustrated potentially. Maybe you have the thoughts that I should get out of the market, I should do something different. Well, as a financial advisor, one of the important things is, again, we shouldn't be invested in a way that we have to rely on the daily ups and downs of the market to determine what we should be doing. There should be inside of your risk tolerance from day one, so we don't have these fears and these concerns that pop out of nowhere to make you want to make these spur-of-the-moment decisions that could be very negative to your overall outcome of your plan as it goes along. So if you're somebody out there and you've never had a financial advisor, or you have one now that's not helping you with this coaching aspect, and you feel like you're going into this event in life with retirement or retirement planning, and you don't know everything about it, give us a call at the number on the screen. We'd love to talk to you, walk through this with you, and help you learn how all these different aspects and how we can help coach you through this very important part of your life, so you can get to that time in your life that you've worked so hard for. You know, retirement can last 20 to 30 years or more, and you want to make sure you're set up for the best possible chance of success that you possibly can. We'd love to see you again here at our offices at any of our 4 locations across northern Michigan. Hope you found this valuable, and make sure you have a great coach on your team.
As you are planning for retirement, where's your journey taking you? Do you know where you are going? How are you going to get there? And what's the best route to take? Do you have a personal retirement roadmap? At Centennial Wealth Advisory, we specialize in retirement planning, and we have designed a complimentary retirement roadmap video series that can be customized based on your personal circumstance and preferences. There is no cost and no obligation. Simply go to cen-wealth.com/roadmap and provide us with some basic information that will guide you to your on-demand, customized retirement roadmap video. Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well.
Your grandchildren are precious to you. They are your life. This is your time to have that special relationship. Taking care of yourself is taking care of them. Centennial Wealth Advisory is offering a free, no-obligation retirement review to make sure you don't run out of money during your retirement. Centennial Wealth Advisory. Your best is yet to come.
Hey, welcome to this segment on customized experience. I want to share a funny little story I had happen this weekend. We were traveling to hockey and I'm coaching, and I have my daughter Ellie, she's 7, and her best friend who's also 7, and we're going to go get them out on the ice and playing a little hockey. And on the way over to the rink though, I had to stop by my office and run in and grab a couple things. So they were in the van talking, and I get back in, and the one friend starts asking my daughter Ellie, what do I do? What is my work? And my daughter Ellie said, he's a financial advisor. And she said, well, what do they do? And I'm just listening to this, and my daughter Ellie says, oh, they changed the world. So I thought, wow, that's a lot of responsibility, and wouldn't that be awesome? But when it comes to a customized experience, that's one of the things I take most pride in here at Centennial Wealth, is that we get to go through so many different layers of help. We have such an awesome team that can go to the different areas of need or learning or worry that clients that come into our office that they bring to the table. And the other thing I love about us is that we're an education-first company where we get some really difficult questions sometimes, and we don't know the answer. But that's okay to us because we know where we need to look, and we have resources, and we have other people involved in our business that have incredible answers. And so then we get to be coach and connector to that, and we get to go on the same kind of learning journey that you really want. So what I'd like to talk about are just different levels of financial planning, different levels of help, different levels that can change your world. So the first one that you might see or experience with a financial advisor is that first level of just asset management. What might you experience here? You might sit down and they might help you with manager selection. Okay, what kind of investment risk do we want? Asset allocation. Okay, we're going to have this much bond risk, or we're going to have this much stock market risk, or maybe we're going to get a CD or a fixed annuity or a fixed indexed annuity. They're going to be able to help you through the industry technical information that is always changing. They might even help you set up an income plan or a distribution plan. Okay, so when clients come in with that experience, I would say that's like first level stuff. That's all very important things. But if you really want to help change their world, we need to go to the next level of financial planning. Okay, so what does that look like? In these situations, what we're going to start talking about is tax and death. Okay, so what happens in your tax world? What is your long-term tax plan? How tax diversified are you? Are you being tax efficient? Are you missing tax opportunities? Are there situations of opportunities in your tax world that you have no idea about? The next thing is, do all of your assets know where to go? Do you have the proper estate planning documents in place? Do you have the beneficiary assignments? Do you need a trust? What does that look like? And then what we get to do in that level is make sure that, with our team members, we actually can help you set that stuff up. And we have a tax accountant that helps us with all of those tax questions right on hand. And if we also, we'll have different estate plan attorneys that will come meet right in our office. And we help connect clients to making sure that all their assets know where to go upon death. And then you get to the most help. Okay, and this is where you start talking about family wealth management. Here we get to go at such a much deeper level. I look at lifestyle and leisure. Okay, what are you trying to accomplish in your retirement? What do you want that to look like? Are you predictably being able to have that kind of life? What do you want to give? Do you have missions, and do you have organizations that you want to support and you want to give them in a super tax efficient way? Let's talk through that. And the last one is, what is that family relationship look like? You know, that's where we get to say, if you have relationships in a family level that are not healthy, what can we do to make that better? How can we set up the opportunity to have healing? And, you know, because if they're going to pass on this wealth to them, how do we do it in a really efficient way? So, you know, there's a lot of levels to financial planning, and we really do want to help improve your world. So if you ever want to find us, you can go to youtube.com/retiringwell. You can like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day.
We're just thrilled that we had another great day. We really have good luck when it comes to weather, and we have extremely good luck when it comes to support from the community. Centennial Wealth has been a solid supporter right from the get-go, and we can't thank you enough for all that you've done for us, and we speak on behalf of the vets.
Thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure working with everybody here at Lock and Heath. They provide a great venue for us, and we get a lot of support because of Lock and Heath.
Thankful to be out here with Veterans in Crisis. We've been supporting them for a number of years, and beautiful day for a golf outing. They do so much for the Northern Michigan veteran community, and Centennial Wealth Advisory is just proud to partner with them once again.
Hey, we're out here on a beautiful day at the Veterans in Crisis Annual Golf Memorial. You know, here at Centennial, we love to support our veterans. They led the way to give us the freedom that we have, and we're forever indebted to them. This is an awesome opportunity to help sponsor a program that helps our veterans all across Northern Michigan. So we have a beautiful day and are gonna have a great time golfing.
Living life isn't always easy. It puts up challenges and obstacles you'll have to overcome. There are responsibilities. You put in effort to provide and take care of your family, and to save and invest, to balance work and life. Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well.
Tax-smart planning. You know, I think it's an extremely beneficial and a great way that we earn our keep here at Centennial Wealth is through doing that tax planning, okay? I have yet to meet somebody that says, hey, I enjoy paying taxes, right? Nobody wants to pay taxes. In fact, my 7-year-old got to experience this firsthand recently. So he got a $20 gift card from his great-grandmother for his birthday to go pick out a toy of his choosing. And we have a little hobby farm in Gaylord, and we've got 4 ducks that is primarily Noah's responsibility to take care of. And the ducks really don't like him at all. They don't follow him around. They don't come when he calls or anything like that. And so he wanted to take this $20 gift card and go to Jay's to get a duck call. So I take him to Jay's, we find the duck call, and it works out great. It's only $19.99, okay? He thinks, oh, that's perfect, right? So we bring up the duck call to the cashier. He sets it on the counter, and she goes, well, that'll be $21.19. And just in total confusion, he looks back at me and is like, well, what do I do? I've got a $20 gift card, but it's $21.19. So I gave him the change, and we take care of that. And as soon as we get out of earshot from the cashier, Noah's like, well, what was that, Dad? It said only $19.99. And I said, that's taxes, son. And he said, Dad, I don't like taxes, right? So, you know, he had a plan, right? He's like, well, I got $20. This duck call is going to be $19.99. It's going to work out perfectly. He didn't count on taxes. And, you know, so often we see that with clients that are prospective clients that come in, that they think they've got this solid investment plan, right? And then they realize, well, wait a second, we're not even touching on taxes, right? So how can you have a solid investment or a solid retirement plan without talking about taxes? And here at Centennial Wealth, not only do we do investment planning, health insurance planning, income planning, and estate planning, but we also really dive into tax planning. So today I want to cover just one way that we go about earning our keep on the tax side. And it involves a recent scenario I had with a client, with a new client that brought in about $1 million of pre-tax money. So this client, he was 65 years old, just retired, has a great pension, Social Security, and $1 million in pre-tax money saved for retirement. He's very blessed in that he doesn't need this $1 million of pre-tax money to live on. His pension and his Social Security meet basically all his needs, and he has no debt. So it's a great situation for him to be in. But he wants to take this $1 million and he wants to leave it to his 2 children when he passes. And he wants to do that in the most tax efficient way possible. So I start by asking him, well, where do you think that $1 million is going to be at age 73, some 8 years from now, when you're required to take money out of that account, that pre-tax account? And he thought, well, you know, I hope it's doubled, okay? So that'd be $2 million at that point, assuming he doesn't touch the funds and, you know, the market appreciates accordingly. He wants to have $2 million at age 73. So I informed him that, you know, once RMDs kick in at age 73, if your funds do indeed grow to $2 million, you're going to be forced to take out $75,000 a year, whether you want it or not, whether you need it or not. So the IRS gets their tax money, right? So what can we do to minimize that and get Uncle Sam out of his pocket, right? And so we went over Roth conversions. And, you know, with the Tax and Jobs Act of 2017, you know, our current tax rates that we're in, we're getting a little break right now. He happened to be in the 12%, which is a 3% savings, okay? And if at age 73 his funds did grow to $2 million and he was forced to take out $75K, he'd be bumping into the 22% tax bracket. So essentially, he'd always be in that 22 or higher once this tax law sunsets in 2025. So we set up a plan where we do Roth conversions year over year over year to help reduce his RMD, pay taxes now at a lower rate than what we think they're going to be in the future, and hopefully save him some money that his heirs could inherit at a lower tax rate as well. So that's just one example of how we navigate taxes, and there's so many different ways and so many different options. So if your advisor isn't talking about taxes, he should be, because that's the way to really plan to retire well.